The official start to free agency is March 12th, but the tampering period where teams are allowed to offer contracts and start talking to these players start tomorrow at noon. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have 24 official free agents that are set to hit the market that they're going to be looking to re-sign, but also that other teams are going to be interested in. So I'm going to go through every single player set to hit the market for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything free agency news for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Every signing, every person we lose, all the news. Subscribe and turn notifications, and also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, the Steelers. I'm going to go in the order from who is making the most money this season to the least money of who's set to hit the free agency block. So let's start off with wide receiver Mike Williams. He will be an unrestricted free agent, and this past season, he was making $10 million. Also, guard James Daniels. He will be an unrestricted free agent, and he was making $8.83 million per year on his last contract. Cornerback Dante Jackson, set to hit the market as well, is $6 million per year. Quarterback Justin Fields, unrestricted free agent, he was making $4.7 million. Also, guard/center Nate Herbig is set to hit the market at $4 million. Inside linebacker Landon Roberts is set to hit the market at $3.5 million. Running back Najee Harris, who is on his rookie contract, will be a free agent as well. He was making $3.2 million on his rookie contract. Safety DeMonte Casey was making $3 million this past year, will be a free agent. Wide receiver Van Jefferson, who was number 2, number 3 receiver for the Steelers this past season, he will be a free agent at $1.2 million. Quarterback Kyle Allen, who was signed very early in free agency last year by the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's making $1.3 million basically, and he'll set to become a free agent as well. Tight end McCole Pruitt, unrestricted free agent, he will be making, or was making, $1.2 million. Inside linebacker Tyler Medikevich, who was out with injury for the last few seasons. The Steelers brought him back. He was making $1.2 million. He's more of a special teams guy. Quarterback Russell Wilson, the Pittsburgh Steelers starter, and someone who played decently throughout the season, someone who proved that he's not completely washed yet, was making the minimum with the Steelers at $1.2 million because he was released by the Denver Broncos on a huge contract. So the Steelers got a bargain with him, but he's set to become a free agent. Cornerback Cameron Sutton, who the Pittsburgh Steelers took a flyer on after every situation he was going through this past season, off-season. He was making $1.2 million. He'll be set to become a free agent. James Pierre, cornerback, who the Steelers have had for a while now. He signed with a different team last offseason after being with the Pittsburgh Steelers the year prior, but it didn't work out with his team. He was cut before the start of the season, and he was cut mid-season as well, or like towards the beginning of it, and the Steelers saw him as a free agent, brought him back at $1.1 million. So let's see where he goes. Guard Max Shamklin, unrestricted free agent, $1.125 million. Cornerback CJ Henderson, $1.125 million. Tackle Kelvin Anderson, who they brought in after being waived by his team, and they kind of signed him off of waivers. $1.25 million he was making, free agent as well. Wide receiver Ben Skowronek, someone who actually did a decent good job for the Pittsburgh Steelers after he was brought in unexpectedly to actually play a role on this wide receiver group. He was making $1 million, but the fact that he came in and was a really good blocker, really good kind of pass catcher when given opportunities, and just did good things. He was good with the Rams as well. He's going to be missed, and hopefully the Steelers can maybe bring him back. But he was making $1 million, set to become a free agent. Tackle Dan Moore Jr., unrestricted free agent. He was making $1 million on his rookie contract after being a 4th-round draft pick. He's set to make a bag in free agency, probably around almost $20 million per year. So let's see what he's going to get in free agency. Probably won't be back. Defensive line Isaiah Loudermilk on his rookie contract as well was making $900,000. So he's become an unrestricted free agent as well. Now we get into restricted free agents. Jaylen Warren, he's a restricted free agent. What does that mean? The Pittsburgh Steelers could place a tender on him and bring him back. So he's not really on the open markets, but unless a team decides to pay the tender and give up a draft pick and sign him, which they could do, but more than likely they won't. But he was making $857,000 this past season. So the Pittsburgh Steelers also have Jeremiah Moon, who's set to become a ERFA at $915,000, and center Ryan McCollum, who's set to become an ERFA as well at $915,000. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, these are the total, basically 21 unrestricted free agents, and the other 3 are basically restricted and ERFAs. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a lot to think about when it comes to these players and who they want to bring back and who they want to let go. But the official tampering period starts tomorrow at noon, and a lot of these guys will be signed right away to different teams or brought back. So that's something to keep an eye on, but I'm going to get more into it as this video goes along on who I would keep out of these players and who I would let go. So let's go through this list. The only for sure guys who I personally would keep would be maybe around 3 players. I would keep Justin Fields, give him the opportunity, because really you don't have any other quarterback available to be a starter right now unless you go and sign someone. But right now there's no starting quarterback under contract. So me personally, I would keep him. He did a decent good job going 4-2 to start the season, showed some progress week after week. I would keep him. And the other guy I would keep would be Elandon Roberts. He's been a really good inside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, stopping the run, a big hitter, their hard hitter in the middle of the field, and I would keep him as a depth piece. We also have some other guys at inside linebacker, bringing him back. He wants to be back, and he's a good player. I would bring him back on the right price. So those are 2 guys. The next guy I would for sure bring back will be Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren is obviously a restricted free agent, and I would tender him and make sure he's the running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whenever he was on the field, he showed burst, and you could argue he was a better running back between him and Najee Harris. Is he going to be the full down every back starter? Maybe not, but maybe he will be. Maybe given the opportunity, he will exceed. Who knows? But bringing him back is a priority the Steelers must have. So he's the 3rd guy for sure I'd bring back. And those are the only 3 for sure people who I would want back from this list that they have to bring back. Now, looking at the other guys, there's other players that I would want back, but at the right price. And those players would be obviously James Daniels. I'd want him back if he was on the right price. He's been a really good offensive guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will he be back though? More than likely not. He'll be making a lot of money in free agency. He's coming off a major injury. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a rookie in Mason McCormick. So do I believe he'll be back? No, but on the right price, would I want him back? Yes. Also, another player. On the right price, would I want back Mike Williams? Yes, I would. I believe that in another year in the system, he could actually be used properly. He's another big body receiver the Pittsburgh Steelers can bring back. But on the right price, yes, I would want Mike Williams back as well. You trade for him for a reason. I believe he wasn't utilized as well as he should have been, but on the right price, I would want Mike Williams back as well. Dante Jackson, let's talk about him. Would I want Dante Jackson back? I don't think so. I don't think Dante Jackson is a starting lockdown cornerback. He makes some plays here and there, but he's a guy who lets up big plays a lot as well. Do I want him back? No, I believe they should go a different route and look at different options at cornerback, whether that's free agency or the draft. But no to Dante Jackson. Now, another guy who you may be thinking, Najee Harris. Should I want Najee Harris back? Me personally, on the right price, sure. But also, if you go out and maybe sign Nick Chubb and give him the opportunity to return back to what he's able to do and see if he's able to get back to what he's doing. Or go out and sign a different running back who's maybe set to hit free agency, who's a big name as well. Sure, I would rather go out and sign a different running back. But if it falls back and Najee Harris is the only option, sure, on the right price, I would want him back. But he's not someone necessarily that is a must to have back on this team. Now, who's another name? Damontae Kazee. Damontae Kazee was good in his first season with the Steelers, but his last 2 years on the Steelers, I really didn't think he contributed much. He was injured, didn't really do too much, allowed open guys a lot. Is he necessarily a guy I want back? Maybe on the right price as a depth piece, but not someone as a 3rd safety or 4th safety on this team. More so as a depth piece, so he's not necessarily an option I want for sure to bring back. Also, looking through the list as well, everyone else could basically leave in free agency. Russell Wilson, I don't really want him back. He's not a quarterback I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers could win a Super Bowl with next season or build a future around. So there's no point of bringing him back in my personal decision. So probably not. Another guy like Dan Moore Jr., no, because he's been making a lot of money. Another guy like Cameron Sutton, no, I wouldn't want him back. James Pierre, maybe as a depth piece. He was a really good kind of special teams punter unit type of guy. So maybe if you could bring him back as a fifth, sixth cornerback, sure. But someone as a third cornerback, no. But he would be the only other guy on this list who I would look at and be like, hey, we could bring him back as a depth piece. Other than Ben Shornick, who's also a really good kind of backup wide receiver, especially in a blocking situation. So those are the Pittsburgh Steelers free agents. I just go through and I'm just like, hey, the Steelers could bring them back on a decent price, and I would want them back. But other than that, this list of free agents, I'm good with them, most of them just leaving, and us getting different guys and bringing in new blood and bringing in new energy to this team. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, these are the free agents. These are my thoughts on the free agents. This is who I would want back, who I wouldn't want back. But for sure, those three guys I named, in Elijah Roberts, Jalen Warren, and Justin Fields, I would want back. But other than that, everyone else, you have to make the right decision on them based off of money and who else is available. With that being said, that's in this video. Those are the Pittsburgh Steelers free agents and decisions they have to be looking at in this upcoming day, where it starts tomorrow, free agency, the tampering period at noon, and officially on March 12th, where contracts are confirmed. But basically, it starts tomorrow. So, like I said, I'm going to keep you updated on everything throughout this free agency period. Every signing, every player we lose in free agency, everything like that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything like that. And also comment down below on this video your thoughts on these free agents, who you want back out of this group, and maybe who you want out of other group of free agents in the open market from different teams. So until the next video, until tomorrow, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.